All right. So first off, just want to start with why monitor and respond to reviews. First off, review sites end up being a very powerful marketing channel. So 70% of consumers are going to seek an opinion. They're usually going to review sites. The second part is that these review sites are also essentially an extension of your customer service. So there are studies that have shown that about 42% expect a response within 1 hour of them posting on a site, whether it's social media or review site. 25% expect a response in a day, and it's just the the nature of things as they are now. And then the third point with why these review sites are important, in particular review sites, but also social as well, is that they end up being a valuable source of customer feedback. So it's a way to learn about, okay, what does someone like about our service or our staff or the products, and a way to improve and make the business better. There are some residual benefits as well. So you can improve your SEO because as you guys reply and post responses, that's fresh content. So that gets indexed by Google and can lead to stronger search rankings. And then if you guys do it right, it can be a great morale builder for the organization when you guys get some of these wins responding to these folks. All right. What I've laid out here are some common best practices. Now, for some of you guys, this might be, some common sense, but it's always helped to lay this out. So first, as Patrick had mentioned, it's about having a game plan. So you want to know, hey, what sites should we be monitoring? Who's in charge of replying? In terms of that response, what's the demeanor? And as you might expect, it's, polite, professional, friendly. Don't get into public disputes, but to make sure that that game plan is, at least an initial game plan is laid out, and then you guys can make tweaks and adjustments to it as you optimize the process. The second rule of thumb is you want to speed rules. You want to respond quickly. And when we polled our customers, they actually told us 80% of the time they can get an unhappy reviewer to change their mind, which sounds crazy, but they said, hey, when we can respond quickly, when we can follow our game plan and execute, ends up being really effective. Now that's probably what you would suspect with unhappy reviewers, but the happy reviewers matter as well because you're building loyalty. And there's actually this rule that, on top of all that, there's this rule that Yelp has. They call it the 99 and 1 rule, where 1% of the traffic, they're going to be the ones writing the review. There's 9 who might like it or comment on it, but the other 90%, those are people who are at the site. They're actually just reading and consuming, but those are people that you need to be appealing to and you want to win over because their perspective, they want to see that you guys are if you guys are listening to customers. Now, a lot of businesses, they get part of the way there, but something that they sometimes forget is the follow-through, which is really important to follow through on how you're going to be resolving those issues, because if you don't, we've seen a number of instances where it just makes the situation worse. And then finally, like with anything you guys are trying to improve, you need to be able to measure your progress, which can be, if you're doing it manually, can be a pretty, not fun work, grunt workish, but really critical to make sure that the plans that you're executing are going accordingly. So these are common best practices, and what I wanted to do was take a moment to show you guys what are maybe some less obvious, what I call uncommon, not so obvious, counterintuitive winning practices that we've observed from our customers who are really kind of at the head of the curve when it comes to having a really strong online presence and excel at the customer experience.